So, dear all, good morning. Yesterday we have discussed about formal organization. Formal organization is what? It is created by what? Management. It is the organization structure is created and designed by the management for what? For a common goal, to achieve a common goal. And the task, responsibilities, accountability, position, all those things will be assigned by management. And what is your job role and what you have to do, what is your uh, task, all those things will be framed by the management. Okay, so what is formal organization? This is what formal, a group of people working together for a common goal. All the group will be selected, the team members will be selected by the management. Okay, the formal organization structure, either it might be uh, functional structure or else divisional structure. Fine. So far we have discussed this. We let us continue with features of formal organization. Shall I start? Guys, are you all there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, so fine. So we are about to discuss features of formal organization. First one is it specifies the reporting relationship. What do you mean by reporting? Have you all seen we every day we will report to our advisor ma'am because ma'am is our superior. So at the end of the day, we will meet ma'am and we will say these are all the activities we have done, and we will report and we will clarify. And you suppose ma'am might plan some other works activities, so ma'am will share with us. So this is what reporting relationship. So it specifies the reporting relationship among various job positions and the nature of their interrelationships. This clarifies who has to report to whom. Okay, so when the very first feature is what to whom we need to report. Okay, what are the activities we need to do? That is the first one. And second feature is it is a means to achieve the objectives as it lays down rules and procedure essential for their achievements. Okay, so first thing is whom we need to report, who is our superior. Okay, what is our task? That is the first thing. Second thing is a set of rules, procedures, regulations. What is the rule? Each and every organization rules will differ. You can take if IT company, they can maximum people or maximum number of people they will work from home, and there in the IT company they will have smoking zones. Okay, uh, to relax or to relieve their stress. But you can take the manufacturing sectors, smoking is strictly prohibited. And then they need to be on time. They must wear uniform. If they are working in a machine, they must wear hand gloves, helmet, then shoes, all the and also they are not supposed to spit on the floor like that. Lot of rules, regulations, procedures will be framed to achieve that common goal. Then formal, the third feature is what formal organization coordinates and integrates the effort of various departments. Okay. So what are the various departments in the sense? Production department, marketing department, human resource department, finance department. So the when we are in formal, it is easy to what coordinate each other. Okay. So coordination, two or more people who work together for a common goal. So that is what coordination we have discussed in chapter 1. Okay, so that is the third feature. And fourth one is it is deliberately designed by top management to facilitate smooth functioning of organization. Okay, so top management has the sole authority to design all the function, all the structures, organization structure for what? For smooth functioning. What do you mean by smooth functioning? So without any issues, without any delay. Okay, without any problem. So we can able to run the organization smoothly, very conveniently. Fifth feature is it places more emphasis on work than interpersonal relationship among the employees. Okay, so what is formal organization in the sense? We will bound with only work. So apart from work, we will not talk anything. There is no what chances for developing personal relationships. If it is the actually, if we take a department, the manager or the superior or the your colleagues or peer group, the people those who are working with you, there we don't have much what நம்ம என்ன சொல்லுவோம் suppose as a just for ஃபார்மலினா சும்மா காரியம்னா பேசுவாங்க அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்லுவாங்க, கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஸோ இவங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது வேலை வேணும்னா தே வில் டாக் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லுவோம். தட் இஸ் வாட் ஃபார்மல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப். ஃபார்மல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்னா they will not talk anything more than the limit. For example, if a friends, இப்போ நீங்களும் உங்கள் ஃப்ரெண்டு இருக்கீங்க, you two will talk, you will have fun, you will laugh and you will enjoy, you will roam. But within a classroom, it is not possible. Oh, it is not possible. And also that is not a platform for your personal relationship. There you need to maintain silence and you're not supposed to talk. And what the teacher, he or she is teaching, that you need to listen the homework. This is what formal. Okay, so the same thing will be practiced within the organization. So there is no possibilities to develop any personal relationships. Have you all got my point?
Yes, sir.
Shall we go for next? Girls, are you all there?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, thank you. Any doubts? Anyone?
No, sir.
So, advantages of formal organization. What are the advantages? We'll discuss one by one. Fixation of relationships. Okay, what is fixation? For example, who is our superior? Who is our subordinate? Who is our colleagues? Colleagues in the sense peer group. So that is what fixation of responsibility. It is easier to fix responsibility as mutual and the relationships are clearly defined. Okay. So fixation of responsibility is what is your task, what you need to do, what is your role in the organization. So since it is a formal, for example, if in your home, okay, sometimes we will not listen our parents or our brothers' word or advice, or else they may give us some task. Vigneshwaran, just do this work அப்படின்னா போமா எனக்கு வேற வேலை இருக்கு, I can't do this, it is not possible அப்படின்னு நாம சொல்லிடுவோம். So easily when we have personal relationship, there might be a lot of what excuses. But when there is a formal organization, yes, when it's come to a teacher, for example, your teacher is giving you assigning a task to you, will you say no? It is not possible, never. So like that, simultaneously, if you're working in an organization, so when your superior, they ask you to do one task, it is not possible for us to deny that task. So immediately we will accept. So fixation of responsibility is very easy in formal organization. Then clarity of duties. So what do you mean by clarity of duties? The roles and duties of each member are clearly and explicitly specified. So there is no confusion and it helps in avoiding duplication of work. So clarity of duties in the sense what we have to do, what is our task, and we will not we will stick on to our role. We will not what we will not just waste our time. Okay. Then unity of command. What do you mean by unity of command? Where we have studied? Anyone?
14 principles, sir.
In 14 principles we have studied unity of command. So what do you mean by unity of command? What is unity of command? There is one
Sir.
superior. Please say, Ms. Sindhu.
So the instructions are given by the superior, sir.
Okay. Instruction will be given by only superior and only one superior. Okay, not more than one. So you can take a country, there will be only one prime minister or one president. If we take a organization, there might be only one boss. So unity of command in the sense only one person will command, and also that command will be what it focus only the organizational goals. Okay, not any other goal. So next one is helping in achieving objectives. Okay, we are discussing advantages of formal group. The fourth objective is what helpful in achieving objectives. It leads to effective accomplishment of objectives by providing framework for operations to be performed and a clarity of rules in the mind of employees. Okay, so when we are in formal, okay, so we will stick on to our work. We will not try to develop interpersonal relationships. Uh, just a colleague. Okay, so in that case, we will stay focused. And when there is rules and regulations, so when there is no rules, we will do whatever we like, right? So when there is a rules and regulation, for example, 9 o'clock we need to report, and the task whatever is assigned to us, we need to complete it on time. So these are all the rules and procedures framed by top management. So we will easily stick on to that and we will complete the task. So formal organization is more suitable for what achieving objectives. Then last one is provides stability. Okay, what is stability? It provides stability to the organization as behavior of employee can be fairly predicted since there is specific rules to guide them. Okay, so stability in the sense what do you mean by stable? There won't be any changes. It will be stable as it is. So when we are all following what are the rules regulation, for example, we need to be there at 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock class starts. So 8 o'clock everyone will be there. And second thing, we must wear uniform. So everyone will be there in uniform. So when we are following orders, when we are obeying rules, regulation framed by the management, there will be stability of the human behavior. That is employees' behavior. When they are stable, easily it is possible for us to control, and we can able to do the task effectively. Are you all there? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Boys, girls, any doubts?
No,
No,
sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Then disadvantages of formal organization. So definitely when there is advantages, there may be disadvantages too. So there are three disadvantages we will discuss one by one. Delay in action. The formal communication may lead to delay in decision making and action as the official chain of command has to be followed. Yes or no? For example, when we are trying to implement one plan, so we need to follow the channels. You can see that divisional structure now, or else of functional structure. The superior will decide. That means the chairman, the top level people only decide. So they will communicate to chairman will communicate to managing director, and he will ask their opinion. Then the managing director will communicate to director, then managers, then assistant manager. When it reach the employees, it will be delay. So it will take more time. Why? Because of formal communication. What is formal communication? Anyone? Have you all seen that while writing letter writing? How many of them having experience of writing a letter? So there you will follow a formal structure, right? From your name, your class, to the principal, the respected sir, and so you will mention the reason. Then what you will do? Yeah, in our school we are giving directly to Suresh sir. But actually, what's the procedure? You need to meet your class teacher and you need to submit the letter to your class teacher. And the class teacher will discuss to the coordinator, and the coordinator will get the permission from principal, and finally we will get the approval. Okay, so it is a time consuming process. In your case, what you people are doing, you are writing letter and you are giving to Suresh sir, and sir will get permission from ma'am. So in my case, okay, so I am the employee in our school. So what I will do, I will write a letter, I will give it to principal, and finally I will get the reply. So actually a formal organization structure might delay in action. So next one is lack of initiative. What do you mean by initiative? Anyone? What is initiative? So without anyone's word, you will do by yourself, right? It is also there in 14 principles, initiative. So no external force will be there. Okay, suppose how many of them willing to write test, in the sense immediately few people will raise hands. Others they will say sir no, then I need to force them. So without any external force, doing the task by themselves is called initiative. So when it comes to formal organization structure, there will be lack of initiative. Why? Because we'll see. So formal organization does not allow any deviation from rigidity. So from rigidly laid down policies and strict rules. It kills the spirit of initiative and creativity among the members of the organizations. Okay, so how in a formal organization, if the manager says that everyone need to do this task, we need to complete this task without fail, in the sense, so it is a order. Okay, so in formal organization we used to get a order, so we have to stick on to it. It is not possible to say excuses. It is not possible for a person to work independently. You need to work along with the team, so the initiative skills or else creative skills will not be implemented here. So ignore human element. Formal organization place more emphasis on structure and work. It ignores the importance of interpersonal relationships and human needs. Okay, so there is no interpersonal relationship. So formal organization or formal communication, so they will communicate or they will talk only related to their job. Okay, they will know more than that. They will not even talk anything about your personal. Even they won't even ask how are you, how is your family, had your breakfast. Nothing. Simply they never mind about you, whether you people taken lunch, or whether you people are okay, satisfied, happy. So there is no interpersonal relationships in formal organization. So the management want the things to be done by you. So what you have to do, what is your role, and what is your responsibilities, you need to complete it on the assigned time frame. That's it. So apart from that, there is no any personal relationship between the superior subordinate. So these are the three advantages of what formal organization structure or a formal organization. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Pravi, can you pass?